All right, 2026 is here and I'm excited for the year. I learned a lot last year. I had to step back a little bit from YouTube so that I can put more energy into my trading. And I was able to really focus and learn a lot last year in 2025. With that being said, I do want to get back into doing some YouTube videos, bringing some more content to you guys and getting back to doing some update videos. All right. So I've reached different levels in my trading. I did not hit any of my goals last year, although I did set some pretty high goals. But what I did was learn a tremendous amount in my about myself and about my trading, and I'm really ready to bring that to the table in 2026. So um, this year, I just want to start off with a very simple update video for you guys. I'm just going to talk about the trades that I took today. I only took one trade today. It was a really nice scalp trade right at New York Session Open, and then I laid out another trade that I wanted to take later in the day, but I was a little scared to take it. Right, so I'm noticing some different things in the market, some new entries or things that are working with the strategy that I had that I didn't really notice before that are bringing a new set of uh, entries, I guess, if you will, entries and exits. Just something that is really allowing me to hone in on one, the timing and the positions that I'm getting in and out of in the market, right? So let's jump into the charts and let's talk about how I did that today. All right. So again, I use Addis. I joined them last year. They reached out to me via Discord actually because I am a Mac user and they were working on a Mac version of their trading software. So I got really early access to it. It didn't really have much to it, not a lot of features, but they were able to give me access to it. And what I did was I traded, or I used both the Mac version and their Windows version that's been out for a long time, and kind of just went back and forth. And I helped them, develop this Mac version that I now am completely on altogether. It is still very early. They did release a version that anybody can download now and use. It's called Addis X. They actually created this whole new version of their platform called Addis X for both Mac and Windows. It's streamlined, it's fantastic. And if you're using it on a Mac, because it was designed for Mac, it is awesome. It is smooth, it is fast running, and feature rich. It's amazing everything that you can put on these charts, not to mention your footprint that you can see, and you have absolutely no lag. It runs so smooth. It's fantastic. I'll make a different video about that later. Anyway, let's get back into it. I'm not going to talk about how I get these key levels and everything in this video. I will make other videos soon to come to talk about what I use in Addis, how I use it to trade, and what all this stuff on this on the screens are. I'll get into the specifics of all that in a different video. Getting into today, hop on the computer around 8:30 in the morning is when I usually start looking, start planning what the day is going to look like. So I noticed that we had, a pretty decent amount of consolidation here where we kept hitting a level that we could not kind of push through, right? And it's easier to see on the 15-minute chart over here. Okay, so if you guys can see, we have this cluster here that's sitting right on top of a key level. Okay. That's what this is here. Now, I noticed that every time we push down to it, we get pushed back up. Push down to it, get pushed back up. Okay. So, right before New York session open, which is this candle right here, we had a pretty quick surge in volume. And this candle moved up really quickly. I entered on the very next candle, which was the New York session open. As soon as New York session opened, we had this like teeny little pullback here. I got in and I waited for price to just get to the next key level. That's how my strategy works, right? So I set this a take excuse me, a take profit right at the next key level, and this just moves it moves straight to it. It was a beautiful, beautiful, um, scalp trade that I took, and it took less than 3 minutes for me to hit TP, and, I went in a little heavy with this one, because I was feeling really good about it, you know? Stop loss was below the level that we couldn't break for the previous hour, essentially, and on the 15-minute chart, below all of this, so if we broke this, then the trade is invalid, right? That's where your stop loss should be, in my opinion. So anyway, this worked out really, really nice. That was my trade for the day. It was good. I was all set for the day. But I do, I hop on Discord. If you guys are interested, join the Discord. And I hung out with the community and a couple of my friends that we trade with. We trade together every morning, and we kind of watch this surge play out here. Really nice move to the upside, breaking structure, moving above the weekly VWAP, above the daily VWAP, breaking all these key levels. Really nice, right? Really nice move. Later in the day, I noticed that we're doing the same thing. So, decent size move, consolidation, right? And on the 15-minute chart, same thing. This is where I took the trade in the morning. We had a nice move from the bottom here, consolidation. So I felt really strongly that we were going to continue moving up. That's why I took that trade this morning. So I didn't want to give any profits back later in the day because I am trying to pass this challenge that I'm in now. So I didn't actually take this trade, but I did set it up in a way where if I was going to take it, this is what I would have done. I'm trying to move past market orders and jumping in the market, whenever, okay? And trying to get to a point where I can see what's happening, set a limit order, and let it run. If it catches it and gets me in the market, great. We'll see if it plays out. If it doesn't, then it wasn't meant to be, kind of thing, right? So I'm trying to transition this year into that market order into limit order kind of strategy. So I see we have a healthy pullback here after this move. It wasn't a quick pullback. There was nothing in the volume or in the delta even that told me like we were going to turn around pretty quickly. So I let this play out. And again, I can see we're reaching an area where price is having a difficult time moving past. This candle, this particular candle here, we had a decent push to the downside here that was followed immediately by, it's a reversal, you can say, right? Just between two 5-minute candles. The following candle, which is what really gave me the I'm gonna get in. Okay, we had this nice Doge candle here. Now, if you look down, I use a cumulative delta down here. Is what this is here. You can see that on this candle, we put in a positive delta, but this candle was negative, right? So we had a little divergence there. So that gave me a little bit more, idea that we are going to continue the upward trend for the day. So I didn't actually do this, right, guys? But you know, pretended to place a limit order at the bottom of this structure, which is what I'm trying to do. I'm really trying to hone in where my entries are so that I can minimize my downside, my stop losses, right? So I picked this level right here because what I'm trying to do is look left and look where the majority of those bottom wicks are touching, right? So this just seemed like a decent spot right here. So I just did a limit order there. That's what this circled here. And if it came back down and got me into the trade, beautiful. If it didn't, then I would not have chased it back to the upside. This, the following candle tags me in. It allows me to have such a tight stop loss here where I'm not risking much at all. Even with a larger position size, there's not much risk here because again, if we break this whole area down here, then the trade's invalid. So there's no need for a larger drawdown. So this would have tagged me in, and you can see where price ends up breaking previous highs, moving up to the key levels here and continues on. Now, I was targeting all-time highs. We were so close basically on a 15-minute chart, which is right here. You can see where this is actually, where am I looking here? 69. Yeah. So this cluster here was the next set of right? As you can see where all the bottom wicks are being put in. 15-minute chart is really nice for confirmation. And I said to myself basically, well, if I'm going to target something, there really isn't much else in between this area and all-time highs. So are we going to put in a double top or make new all-time highs? It, it was a pretty decent call, I think. You guys can let me know in the comments what you guys think, but I just targeted all-time highs, previous all-time highs, which was right here, which ended up lining up with these two key levels right here. So I put my take profit just below the key levels here, just below previous all-time highs, and I just let this run. I let it run. It took a while. This was a pretty long trade, but as you can see here, um, it played out really nicely. We moved past previous highs. We moved past this key level here, these POCs, which are very important levels, by the way. Um, moved past them nicely, came down, retested, and then continued to make higher highs. That again is confirmation that we are going to stay above this level here. So you can move your stop loss to below that, lock in profits, right? Which is what I would have done here. And then again, just let it play out. You can see where it comes back and retests these key levels again before finally moving all the way up to where my take profit is. This trade was really nice. I don't know that I would have stayed in it as long if I was actually in this trade because I don't think that I have the patience yet to let a trade like this actually play out. It's pretty long. Um, I might have, knowing myself, moved my take profit to like this high here once we showed that we were staying above the POC here. I might have, gotten out probably around here somewhere. But I'm trying to get to that point. I'm trying to get to a point where I have a plan. This was my plan, and I'm just gonna let it play out and trail the stop loss to appropriate positions where I can lock in profits, but still allow the trade to move because this is a phenomenal trade. This is where I need to get to. And again, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Let me know if you think that this is actually something that should have been taken or not. Am I seeing things the right way here? But, I set this trade up and I set it up in the Discord while we were live this morning. Um, you know, just so that you guys know, I didn't do this afterwards. I set this up during these two candles here and said, okay, this is what I would have done um, if I were going to actually get into it. And then I just let it play out. Really nice trade. That was the day for today. Again, I did not actually take this trade. I wish I did. This trade I did take in my Apex account, and I went in with a decent amount here and was able to capitalize on this move really, really nicely. So I'm hoping that I'm starting to see. I don't know. You guys let me know. Like as you go through your journey in trading, do things just start to like appear and you're like, oh, that's different. I never noticed that before, but it really works with your strategy and so now I'm seeing these things here, these little clusters that are happening, around or on my key levels that I've been watching for the past year, and it's like, oh, that could work. So I'm honing in on, I think, a specific setup that works really well with the strategy that I've been using, not consistently, of course, for the past year. So this year, my goal really is to find consistency, find something that I can just use on a day to day that works, most of the time and just stick with it so that by the end of the year, my goal for this year is to just become profitable. I don't it doesn't have to be a lot. I'm not talking about being a millionaire. I just want to be able to pay myself back what I've put in so far and then, and then just be in the green. Doesn't matter what it is, you know? That's the goal for this year. I really just want to find consistency. If I can take this year and just become consistent and be able to be profitable, then next year, uh, you know, we can be off to the races. But hey, one step at a time, right? So I hope you guys enjoy. I've gained a lot of subscribers over the past year, and to be honest with you, I don't really understand why. I haven't done much on YouTube, but I appreciate everybody's support. So this year, I really do want to bring you guys some more content, some more stuff specifically about the platform that I'm trading with, and then let you guys follow along the journey that hopefully I am on the upside with. It's been a rough, 4 years now, but last year was really the first year that I really took it, an entire year and put everything into trading. And again, that's why I took a step back from the YouTube, so that I could really focus on trading and trading only. And it made a difference. I'm not gonna lie, it made a difference. I'm happy that I did that. But now I feel like I'm at a point where I can start to bring you guys some more content so that my subscribers can actually get something out of this channel. So I hope you guys stick around, share, like, comment, do all those things. Let me know what you guys think about this video today. And then if there's anything that you guys want to see this year from me, let me know in the comments down below as well. And join the Discord. We go live every morning, and just trade with each other. It's not a follow me or copy me kind of thing. That is not what I do. That is not what our community is about. It is just about like-minded people trying to make it in this world, supporting each other on a day-to-day basis, which I found to be extremely helpful. So join the Discord. All the links will be down below. Welcome back. I'm glad that I'm back, and we're going to keep this rolling this year. Follow the journey. We'll see you next time.